Shalom. I want to give all credit to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. I want to give a double honors to my apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. I want to do a quick video regarding this news article. It says 1 in 10 Americans set to be unemployed and things will get even worse. Former Fed insider tells boom bust. You got a lot of people out here that are optimistic that things are going to get better in this society. When it's far from the case. You know, even if things do get better in the society, it's only going to be for a quick moment. The first scripture I want to get is, I believe you see the Second Thessalonians. What is that? These Americans are so used to being comfortable. They're just hoping and praying things are going to get back to normal. But let's see what the scriptures. Let's let the scriptures talk. First Thessalonians, chapter 5. Let's see what that says. First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety." So again, let's say things do get back to normal in the society. Businesses start opening back up. They start playing the sports again, and bars open up. Everything starts to blossom like before, right? Reading on, it says, "Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So again, I often say this, the people that want this society to get better is because you don't want this place to be destroyed. A lot of people walk around here thinking this is life. This is it. When in this society, this kingdom, which belongs to the devil, in this kingdom, you look forward to death. I mentioned this before. As we get older, we look forward to death. Our bodies deteriorate. We lose our eyesight, bone aches, back problems, health issues. We look forward to death in this kingdom. And again, a lot of people walk around in this kingdom, not knowing that, there's something far. There's a kingdom beyond this kingdom that exceeds our imagination. There's things set to come that goes far beyond our imagination. And people think, a lot of people out here, or just a lot of people in general, if they don't see it, then it can't happen. Again, a lot of people are walking out here, and this is it for a lot of people. Some people may get a new job, a good paying job. You might get a new car, the car that you've always wanted. You might get the keys to a new apartment. And it's easy to get settled in these things. It's easy to get comfortable. And again, a lot of people don't look at the fact that there's a kingdom beyond this kingdom that it exceeds anything. You could be the richest person in the world. You could have everything in this world. But compared to the kingdom, it's nothing. And people don't look forward to the real. People don't look forward to real treasures. Everybody's mind is so stuck on this society. So that's why, you know, going back to what I said, you know, people don't want this kingdom to fall. People love it here. They don't want to see this place be destroyed. So, you know, I don't want to ramble too much. So, you know, just going back to the article, because this whole thing with people being unemployed, you know, people are losing their jobs. That's going to open the door to a lot of things. You know, people are going to become restless. You know, everything costs money in the society. And, you know, when people don't have a job and not able to support themselves and their families, people are going to start reverting to like a dog eat dog type of mentality. You know, it's going to get to a point. You know, this is where this could lead to, because, you know, all these things are prophesied in the Bible regarding civil unrest, sedition among men, and insurrections. All these things are in the Bible. And I mentioned this before. Esau, they know these scriptures to a certain extent. They want these things to happen to push their agenda. So, you know, you have well, I would say the dollar's collapsing, but the dollar's pretty much worthless at this point. I say the only thing that's keeping the dollar really in the only thing that's really giving the dollar some substance is the people's belief in the dollar. Like with the dollar, like there's nothing to back up the dollar. So pretty much money is worthless. You know, I'm sure a lot of people can relate. You know, there was a time, you know, $20 that could get you a lot of things back then. But now $20 it's worthless. You can't really do much for $20. And again, you know, America's in so much debt at the moment that they're pretty much just kicking the can down the street. They're talking about giving out stimulus checks. People think that's doing good. Well, that's actually going to do more harm than good. They're just pumping more money into the society, and the more money that they pump into society, it's going to devalue the dollar even more, to the point where it's going to completely crash. You got the what do you call it? The stock market is going up and down. It's eventually going to get to a point where it's just going to completely crash. Everything is going to completely just crash. So here it is again. You know, don't want to get off topic too much. People are losing their jobs. It's going to get to a point where inflation is going to take place. Prices are going to start skyrocketing. Esau's trying to put it. He's trying to set it up to a point where he's trying to get society to a point where they completely trust in the government for all things. You know, now they're talking about in certain states, they're telling farmers in certain states not to farm, not to plant and produce agriculture and things of that nature. Certain stores are sectioning off they're sectioning off certain parts of the store, like the garden section where you can get all the seeds and things like that. And again, this is all going to lead up to something. So, reading on in this article, just want to touch on some points of this article. It says, the number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits continued to surge at unprecedented levels, bringing the total number of jobless claims to more than 16 million over 3 weeks. Reading on, it says, RT's boom bust is joined by the former Fed insider Danielle DiMartino booth to talk about the latest figures and the U.S. Central Bank's response. I think we will indeed see a fourth subsequent week, she says, explaining that the most populous states of the nation, including Florida, New York, California, and especially Texas, have a huge backlog of unemployment. And these are all things that are prophesied in the Bible. And just getting some more precepts. I want to go to Isaiah chapter 19. Isaiah 19 and Isaiah 19 and in verse 14. YAHAWAH hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Now, if you know Bible code, because the Bible is full of code. The Bible is one big code book. Egypt is another spiritual name for America. Like Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is another name for America. Egypt is another name, spiritual name for America. Reading on, it says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of YAHAWAH of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself. So, it's going to get bad out here. Israel, Jake knows how to be wicked. So, when things start really getting bad and when they start cutting off resources, Jake don't know how to act. So, you're going to see Jake out here friggin', it's going to be like those LA riots in the 90s on steroids. Jake's going to be out here wilding. And again, this is something they know. You got a lot of Edomites, buying up guns, buying up ammo. Esau, they're stocking up on foods and they're preparing for these things because they know. But you got Jake being so simple, still making memes and taking things for a joke. So yeah, again, you got Jake taking things for a joke out here. And Jake really don't know what's going on out here. Reading on, it says, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of YAHAWAH of hosts, which he hath determined against it. So, again, You know, these people losing their jobs, especially Jake. You know, Jake got bills to pay. So again, you know, when they start cutting off the resources, and again, Esau's planning this very strategically. Ultimately, it's YAHAWAH, the Most High, using Esau on the left hand side, but you know, Esau is clamping down on the society. They're shutting off the cities. They don't want, again, you know, in certain states they're making it illegal to, you know, buy seeds so you can plant and you know, produce your own. You know, Esau's clamping down on his draconian laws, and you know, eventually the people are going to start getting tired, and eventually the people are going to start rising up. And again, you know, I keep stressing the point that Esau knows this, and that's why they already have the you know, they're mobilizing the military throughout America because they're getting ready for these things. I want to put another precept regarding the like the stock market. What is that? Zephaniah 1 and what is that? 10? Zephaniah 1 and 11. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh. Now Mektesh was an ancient, it was a during the ancient time, it was what you would call today the Wall Street. Mektesh during the ancient times, it was a city where people would, you know, come together and it's basically a modern day Wall Street. You know, people will conduct trades and business and things of that nature. So I'm reading on, it says, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Verse 12, it says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, YAHAWAH will not do good, neither will he do evil. But yeah, going back to verse 11. So yeah, here it is again. Going back to the you know, the stock market is constantly going up and down, up and down. Apparently this is the stock market today is worse than back in 2008. You know, before the depression took place. So you know, the point I want to make is, you know, if this is going to get to a point where the dollar is going to completely collapse. And again, this is something that the elites, they want this to happen, so they can implement. Again, it all goes back to their agenda, their new world order. They have a plan to get the whole earth on one currency. Excuse me. They plan to get the whole world on one currency. You know, because they want to sit themselves. They sit themselves as the Most High. So you know, it goes back to the one world government. You know, that microchip, the RFID chip. That's something that they want the whole world to have that chip. And again, I mentioned this in a previous video. This is, you know, that chip. They're gonna present it in a way where it's more convenient. You know, people aren't gonna be able to, because that chip is gonna have all your information on it. So you know, you won't have to walk around with a wallet or any documents like your social security or none of that. Everything's going to be in a chip, so you don't have to worry about nobody robbing you or you losing something. So you know, they're gonna present it in a way where it's convenient. They're probably gonna, you know, present it in a way where, you know, it's popular. So you know, this is this is what all this is leading up to. You know, here it is, Esau. You know, they plan these things. They're through their propaganda and media. They push so much fear into the society. You know that the people, they're basically going to, you know, when things get so bad out here, and again, you know, it mentioned in the article, people are, this is going to continue to get worse. More and more people are going to lose their jobs. And again, you're going to have super inflation. Things will get more and more expensive. I was reading an article about how dealing with this vaccine, you know, if if you don't have if you don't take the vaccine, it was going into something about how basically you're gonna have to get some type of paper or proof showing that you got this vaccine, and with that you're gonna be able to start traveling again, and I was reading something along the lines of, with those papers and proof that you took the vaccine, it's like certain businesses won't even allow you into their establishments if you don't take, if you haven't gotten your vaccine. So to say, the vaccine might not be the actual chip, but it's definitely going to lead to it. So so yeah, this is what this is what this is all leading up to. Millions of Americans are losing their jobs. Resources are being cut short. And again, it's all leading to the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So just pulling some more precepts. I'm going to get Jeremiah 50 and 16, or 51 and 16. I think it's 50. I think that there's one I want in 51, but Jeremiah 50, and yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon. And again, another name, code name for America is Babylon. But it says cut off the sower. And that word, that matter of fact, let me see what the translation.
Strong's H2232. Zarah.
It says to sow, scatter seed, to sow, producing, yielding seed. Basically, it's going into the people that are working, the hard working citizen. It's going to come a point in time where, again, more and more people are going to be losing their jobs. They're setting it up, trying to keep people in their homes. So, again, this is I keep bringing out the point that, this is going to lead up to riots. I think there was one case in it might be Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, where some Jakes, or they might not have even been Jakes. They might just been regular people, but there was a video that came out about I don't know if he was security or he was some type of law enforcement, and he was kicking these what looked like to be Jakes. He was kicking them off the public transportation because they weren't wearing masks. And again, just to show you, like, this is going to start leading to other things. The whole point I want to get out of this is all everything that's going on in America right now is all leading up. It's all going to lead up. Again, they already have the they're already mobilizing the military because they know these things are going to take off. They know riots are going to start happening. Because I read that article regarding the those guys that were kicked off the public transportation for not wearing face masks, and that somewhere in the article it was talking about how this could possibly lead up to rioting. So again, there's a lot of tension in the air. And again, people are just going to start getting fed up. I was just telling my wife the other day, like when I'm in my home, I'm straight. I don't. When I'm just sitting in the confines of my home, I'm good. I don't feel that heaviness or anything. I don't feel tension or anything. But the minute we leave the house and we're out and about, we're in public, I just feel that I feel frustrated. I feel tension. I feel like I want to hit somebody. I was just telling her this the other day, and I was telling her, like this, people are gonna start, like it's about to get real out here. Things are gonna start jumping off. I'm sure other brothers can relate. Like you just out and about, and you could just feel the tension, like you. And again, here it is. Trump is talking about, they're basically trying to paint the picture of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians being the new face of this whole coronavirus. Well, again, that could lead to, that could very well lead to race riots. These nations already look at you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They already look at us as the lowest of the low. So they already cross the street when they see us coming down the street. So again, this could very well lead to race riots. And again, the whole thing with people losing their jobs. I mean, the scriptures talk about how the Lord. Matter of fact, let me get it. That perverse spirit, the Lord is causing things to happen. So, these are things we're getting ready for. Those are the hopeful elect. So what is that? Isaiah 19 and 14. Yahawah hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work whereof was a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Yeah, I read that earlier. Again, Yahawah, he's definitely stirring the pot, stirring things up, causing things to happen. But sticking to the point with this whole, unemployment thing, people are losing their jobs. That's prophesied to happen. Again, going back to what I said in the beginning of this video, could things really get better? And I pulled out First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter and the 3rd verse. Even if things did get better, it would only be for a quick second, a quick moment. But even with that, things, because people are just, like I said, people are just praying and hoping that the things get better. People are so optimistic. It's going to get better. Things are going to get better. Society's going to thrive once again. things are gonna get back to quote unquote normal. Well, could things really get back to normal? You know, the economy has lost so much money with all these businesses being shut down. So, you know, with so much money being lost, could even if things got back to quote unquote normal, would things really be normal? Or would there be a new normal? Again, you know, Esau is slowly conditioning the people to, you know, to get used to seeing you know, things like rationing of food and you know, lines and having to wait. Like Esau he's slowly conditioning the people, you know, to get used to these things. So again, even if and I told my wife also the other day, you know, because right now you got, you know, a lot of people in Walmart and Publix and all these other stores, you got the in-house workers, you know, trying to set these rules and these standards. Well, sooner or later, because sooner or later you're gonna have those people are gonna be replaced with the military. You know, people aren't taking those workers serious. You know, you got a Walmart employee telling you to stand behind the line and do this and basically giving you command. For the most part, people aren't listening to them. People could care less what a Walmart employee has to say. You know, they just want to get their stuff and get out. Well, sooner or later, those people are going to be replaced with the military. You know, you got law enforcement. A lot of people in the police department. They're quitting their jobs. They're catching this virus. So you know, you're not going to have. It's going to get to a point where you're not going to have any policemen to patrol these streets, so to say. So again, that's why, you know, I just jumped straight to the military. They're going to have the military out and about patrolling the streets. In the area where I'm at, I just saw that, you know, they're having signs where the you know, the signs on the road where they're saying, you know, curfew and this and that. You know, they're slowly conditioning the people to get used to military state. So I'm gonna pull another precept, Jeremiah chapter 51. I think it's Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 in verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahawah's hand. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahawah's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take for her pain. If so she may be healed. So again, you know, to the people that are just hoping and expecting things to get better, it's not going to get better. Things are going to continue to spiral out of control. And so much, going back to the scripture, it's like a wound that can't be healed. You know, it's too much. The wound is too deep. Too much blood has been shed for it to be healed. So, you know, the damage is pretty much being done. You know, we're the hopeful elect. Lord's will, I'm of that number. You know, we're just sitting back and waiting to be delivered out of this place. Reading on verse 9, it says, we should have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So again, you know, America is losing money, is losing resources. The scriptures talk about how America's allies, they're going to start turning their backs on America. This has been going on for years, but it hasn't been mainstream. But it's already been known that, you know, certain people from different of the nations, the different nations, different heathens, they're leaving this place because they know this place is about to fall. A lot of people know that the dollar's about to crash, so they're going back to their home country. Again, that includes people. These other countries, they're going to stop, you know, doing business and trade with America. So, you know, things are going to get bad here. You know, China isn't doing too well. And if you know, most of America's products come from China. So, you know, things are going to get bad. And they're going to continue to get worse. You know, but again, you know, I often watch some of these rallies of Trump, and you know, it amazes me that I'm amazed on how much he just sits there. He's prideful. He's just a fat liar. You know, all he talks about is how he creates jobs for millions of Americans, and how he's doing this and how he's doing that, when things are horrible here. You know, you got a homeless crisis in California, as well as throughout America. You know, people are homeless. And again, you know, here it is. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their resources. And people are optimistic that this place can really get better. Why would you want this place to get better? You know, you should be in the mindset of wanting to get out of here. You know, I have to say this. You know, we hate this place. Tired of this place. You know, but that's nevertheless. I want to see if there's anything else on this article. I think I pretty much touched on all the points I wanted to. It says the numbers will be much higher, climbing to 17 million, she says, noting, in other words, the next 2 weeks are going to see waves continuing to come through as these claims are processed. According to her, 10% of Americans, 1 in every 10 workers, will be unemployed. And this is just the starting point. The beginning of sorrows. You know, again, this is going to lead to many other things. People are going to start losing their wits. You're going to have people breaking into other people's homes. Matter of fact, let me get into that. What is that? Second Esdras. What is that? 15 chapter. I believe it's the 14th verse. And you know, again, when people start losing their resources, you know, it's really going to be a dog eat dog world out here. You know, everybody's going to have to fend for themselves out here. It's going to get to a point. Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. and swords in their hands. So, you know, if you don't have the protection of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you know, people are going to start getting robbed, stabbed up. If you thought people fighting over a chicken sandwich and some toilet paper was bad, wait till it really gets bad. Again, when there's no food, no supplies. Again, you know, Esau, you got some Jakes, but mainly Esau, they're stacking up on these guns. And they intend on using those guns. And they can't wait for these things to pop off. They can't wait to kill you niggas. They can't wait to kill you wetbacks and you savages. They can't wait. So again, if you don't have the protection of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you know, this woe is gonna come up. Is gonna come on you. You're gonna be touched. Reading on, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So, you know, it's gonna get to a point where people are they're not gonna give a damn about the mayor, anyone in any type of leadership position. They're not gonna give a shit. They're probably gonna be storming courthouses. They're probably going to be finding out where these governors lives, and you know the possibilities are limitless. You know, people are really about to lose their wits out here. Read a couple more verses. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So yeah, you know, they're already cutting down. You know, they're already sectioning off certain cities. Like I believe it was either New York or New Jersey, or one of those cities. You know, you pretty much can't go in or out. You know, they're forcing people to be quarantined. And again, you know, the American people, they've been living a certain type of way for so long, like they're not gonna take this well. You know, forcing people to stay in their homes. They're not gonna stand for this too much longer. That's why we just read in verse, what is that, 16? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." That sedition, that goes into it goes into an uprising against basically the government. It says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes." So again, you know, people are, you know, I won't be surprised if they send out the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons and even people like LeBron James and Stephen Curry to try to calm the people down. But it's going to get so bad, they're not going to give a shit what anybody has to say. They're probably going to send the Oprahs and the Gayle Kings. They're not going to give a shit. You know, it's going to get to a point where the people are going to say enough is enough. You know, like I said earlier, you're going to have those LA riots all over again, but it's going to be on steroids, times steroids. So, whatever these last verses, verse 19 it says, verse 18 it says, "For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." So again, you know, you're going to have your literal next door neighbor. He might not have resources. He might have a family that he's trying to take care of. And he might go into the next man's house and run his shit up. Take his shit. Reading on, it says, "But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So again, you know, this is going to be a time of great trouble. Jacob's trouble, that is. You know, it's going to get bad out here. And then all these other things, that includes, you know, the unemployment rate, people losing their jobs. Me and my family, we just moved into a nice three bedroom with 2 bathroom. But my wife was telling me, you know, we applied and within a week we got accepted, and within a week and a half, a week and some change, you know, we moved in. And my wife was telling me that the leasing agent told her that, you know, because a lot of people lost their jobs, that freed up a lot of units. So, you know, people are losing their homes, people are losing their jobs, the people are losing everything. And I believe, if I'm not saying this wrong, Apostle Elder Gabar, he said, you know, he quoted a quote that said, you know, when the people have nothing to lose, they lose it. If I'm not saying that wrong, you know, that it's going to get to a point where people are just going to stop giving a shit. People are going to lose their shit. They're going to stop giving a shit. You know, it's going to be all hell out here. So I just wanted to do this video. I don't want to ramble on. So Jacob's trouble we're I keep saying it, we're slowly entering this stages of Jacob's trouble. So, you know, with that being said, I hope this video was edifying, and until the next time, I say shalom.